All right, Mike, what's your upset?
It's time to earn my bag. And if this comes true, where am I looking? If this comes true, I want a new contract. Because I'm going PSG to beat Liverpool. That's right. I didn't stutter. There's nothing in my cup, and if it was, it'd be water, because this is a PSG side that I am very high on. I don't care who they're playing against. I don't care if it's the quote-unquote Farmers League. This team is for real. Look at what's happening beyond. JD, I know you're giving me the eye, but look at what's happening beyond Ousmane Dembele. This is a side that's finally going to realize their potential. I just think that in terms of their midfield, forget their front three. Bradley Barcola, he's doing his thing. He's looking back to the Barcola at the start of the season. Dembele doing his thing. But I'm looking at players that people aren't talking about enough. One player that we saw in the top 10 Golazos, Desiree Doué, Kavica Kvaratskhelia. The depth they have in attack, the weakness Liverpool have at the fullback position, Andy Robertson against Dembele for about 60, against Kvara for potentially about 60 or 90, against Doué. Night.
We're talking about Liverpool.
We're talking about PSG taking down Liverpool. I'm coming after them.
Liverpool is arguably the best team in world football. Would you agree with that, JD?
I think Mike started it so well. He was like, I'm going to give my flowers to the people who deserve. Where's Liverpool's flowers? You see what Liverpool have done this year?
I have.
In the European competitions, domestically in the Premier League. I don't know how anybody can be looking past Liverpool and thinking to yourself that that is not a team that would be, if not the favourites for the competition, then at least a finalist. I've seen PSG. I love the rebrand. I love the redirection. It was always difficult after the stars had exited. Who was going to be the person that accepted the responsibility? But this might be a bit too much thinking about it. I just don't see them. I don't see them digesting this one.
Yeah.
I also love the possibility of PSG meeting Real Madrid in the semifinal. PSG, no Kylian Mbappe, perhaps a no problem. I don't know. I'm rooting for that storyline. I like rooting for good stories. Coming up next, speaking of good stories, dark horses to make the Champions League final. JD, what say you?
See, this is where me and Mike are about to get back on the same thing. I'm about to give some love to Atleti once again, because I've got Atleti going. I've just looked at this time and I thought about Diego Simeone, and I thought 12 years at the helm, some incredible performances, some incredible league performances. We've seen the back-to-back La Ligas that he's turned around and delivered, what he's done in terms of in the UEFA Cup, but this is the ultimate one. This is the one thing that's missing from his trophy cabinet. And we've seen the errors, right? We've seen the Falcao era. We've seen the Diego Costa era. We've seen the Sergio Aguero era. We've seen every single transition. And now we're sitting here with this team, which is flamboyant, forward-thinking, wanting to attack teams, wanting to be on the front foot. I just need this for Diego. I want this more for Diego than Diego wants it for himself.
Wow.
Because he needs to turn around and get his flowers as one of the best managers in Europe, and this is all that's missing from it.
He's got to get past Real Madrid.
Don't worry about that.
You can do it.
Yeah, I know, but this is the Real Madrid. This is their competition, right?
Yeah. Look, they have that special sauce, but another team that has a special bratwurst is Bayer Leverkusen. I know it's a bit corny, but I'm going to go with it. Bayer Leverkusen, they're my dark horse for this year's Champions League. They're a side that I was wondering how they would cope with the pressure of being the hunted. They were the hunters last season in the Bundesliga, and if it wasn't for Ademola Lookman, they would have won the treble. Xabi Alonso, this is going to be and could be his coming out party in terms of Europe's biggest competition. You have the debacle with Victor Boniface. I think Victor Boniface, that depth at the striker position, Patrick Schick, you can now manage minutes amongst those two. You keep them healthy. Florian Wirtz, you have a genius pulling the strings at that attacking midfield position. But what I've seen Xabi Alonso do, and I saw it against Bayern Munich in the DFB Pokal, saw it in the Bundesliga match where they hammered him. They should have beaten him. All that was missing was the finishing touch, is he's shown a tactical flexibility that I didn't know he had. They can sit back and absorb pressure in this 3-4-3. They can play a 4-4-1-1 and let Florian Wirtz run the show. They can even play a damn 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. This team has all the intangibles to make a run, and if they do, I wouldn't be surprised.
I will not deny anything he's saying. He's been one of the most exciting managers over the last 18 to 24 months in Europe. I just think when you have, and it's so crazy, his style of football doesn't match what he was as a player. Yeah. He was so wanting to be in control and dictate tempo and really calm play down. And what he's got in terms of his team is just a team that is just chaotic. I mean good chaos, though, because when they go forward, boy, do they go forward with some ferocity. Yeah. They let you know that they are here, and the running, the impact, the ferocity, the intensity, I just love watching them play. So credit to you, my guy. You ready?
And also, Leverkusen, the inevitability. This is a team that can find results, game-changing goals late, and they've got good experience doing that.
And if we're going to highlight one upset, one thing we're going to circle, I'm going to guarantee to you right now, Lille will progress ahead of Dortmund across both of those two ties. And let me explain to you why. Because I've seen the way that they match up stylistically. I love the tactical approach on both of the two teams. But what I'm appreciating more than anything else is Jonathan David. And I believe when you're going into a summer being a free agent, you remember yourself. How many times you had a couple more months left on your contract and whatever else? You know this is your opportunity to show out. This is your opportunity to showcase what you can do. And we know that Jonathan David is about to secure the bag this summer. He is about to get a big boy contract because he's been doing it consistently for Lille time after time after time again. And he's showcasing the Champions League this year. He is one of Europe's best strikers. He can definitely do it.
Yeah, man, where have you... Where's Charlie Davies? Where were you? I wish you were here when we were going about this conversation because I'm a big Jonathan David fan, and I am definitely a big Ligue 1 fan and really high on this Lille side. I have been since the league phase until they play Borussia Dortmund. I think that he is definitely going to be one of the signings of the summer wherever he goes next. But there is a guy on the other end of the other side, the other opposing final third attack in Sekou Guirassy that I just think is that much better. And Guirassy, this is when he comes to his best. And I think it's going to be a good battle. It's going to be a cagier match, and maybe some people give Lille a chance for it. But Borussia Dortmund, with a player like Guirassy, I mean, he's going to Lille's back line, they're going to be reliving the nightmares they experienced with PSG because Guirassy is that good.
I like it.
I can't wait for the tie.
Guirassy has been the special top goal scorer in the Champions League so far. We've seen what he's doing. He is what I would turn around and say gives these modern defenders all types of fits because he's going to be giving you the problems going in behind. He's going to be causing the problems in terms of being able to drop short and link up. But at the same time, I can't deny what I've seen from Lille, and I just love their approach, how cautious they are in terms of defensively, how well they build up the play in terms of tactically, and I just think stylistically, you know they say styles make fights. We saw Tank Davis this weekend, styles make fights. I just feel like Lille is a perfect fit to beat Dortmund in this tie.
And here's a look at how Lille's done in Champions League this season. They achieved a 7th place finish. They had to take down the likes of Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid on the first 3 match days. And look, I don't know. Dortmund has been such an interesting team this season because in the league, they've been a shadow of themselves. But in Champions League, they've had success, Mike. So what say you?
Look, Karim Adeyemi is a player that we also need to give flowers to.
100%.
Him and Guirassy, you go with one, the other one takes advantage. So I think Borussia Dortmund, there is something about the pressure that maybe the pressure of the league, maybe the chaos surrounding what's happening up top at the club and the chaos and some of the coaching decisions that were made. They don't feel that in the Champions League, and it's going to be really important for them to take advantage at home. That's when they've looked their best, is at home. If they don't do that, if Lille frustrate them, as we've seen them go to difficult places to play in Europe, then we could be talking about this upset.
That yellow wall, tough to play in front of, but Jonathan David, I'm with you. Time to earn that back.